Next room we enter is called Departure. Behind me you would actually see a picture, or should I say the 1/27th of the side of the ship. The Titanic is 882 feet and 9 inches long, which is about 3 football fields or 4 city blocks. And where we stand right now on departure day is in Southampton, April 10th, 1912. This is the sailing day of the maiden voyage. This is steerage, third class, you know, the cargo and the steerage. If you were to look up above you, there's a balcony where the first class actually enter. They go across the top of the balcony and to this big object on the side, which is actually the boarding gangway. But down at the bottom where we would be standing, there'd be about 495 people boarding the ship, and most of them would have to be processed for disease. Coming on board the ship, we'd actually jump upstairs to B deck, which is the boarding area, one of them anyway. As you walk inside, you would see the first class area is more like a first class hotel rather than a ship at sea. Wooden paneling on the walls, not simply steel and rivets. They added another layer to make it a lot more comfortable. The center of the roof is lit by solid brass and Austrian crystal chandeliers. The carpet is hand woven by Stoddard and Company. It's one of the finest carpets in the world. And as you walk into the first class area here, we come around and see one of the major first class cabins. Now this is what we call a millionaire suite. Now the cabin itself is, well, you'd see a lot of things in there you wouldn't see anywhere else. There's a door to the left and a window which leads outside to 40 feet of one's own privately enclosed deck space. To the right would be a door that leads into the 2 separate bedrooms, 2 walk-in closets, and even flushing toilet and running water, which is not to be scoffed at, because on board the Titanic only 1 in 6 cabins actually had that convenience. Everybody else would use what's called a chamber pot, where the business was done and then it was taken out and changed for you. Of course it was taken for granted back then, but nowadays it probably wouldn't be. Now the staircase itself, we call it the grand staircase, but the staircase you see is not just it. It actually curves down through 5 decks to E deck at the bottom. The wood itself is actually solid golden oak. The balustrades coming down the sides are wrought iron and 24 carat gilt bronze. And to step forward and look up, you would see la pièce de résistance, which is the dome. The white ring would be an inlay of mother of pearl. Black stuff on the glass is wrought iron once again, and the chandelier, it was utterly Austrian crystal. Spared no expense. But one of the better things in the room, of course, was the flooring. It's actually a tiled substance called linoleum. Titanic would be one of the first commercial uses of linoleum as you journey through the first class areas. On the walls you would also see handlebars just in case of rough weather. Roofing would always be illuminated by the brass and the crystal chandeliers. But this is the end of our first class area. As you turn the corner, we shall take you somewhere else known as steerage. And one of the gates you would see here too, which is intentionally designed to stop the third class from boarding any of the other areas. Remember, the gates are there because of international immigration law. It's not have any sort of negativity towards them, it's because of the disease factor. So we have to prevent them going anywhere near the first class and the second class. Now, they're never denied access to the upper decks. They can go upstairs and outside. They have their own deck space at the bow and at the stern. They can go there whenever they want. Just nowhere near first class and nowhere near second class, which is why the gates were put there.